Hello guys, Joseph is here. So I came back with the second short video about how to beat your food addiction, junk food addiction, binge eating disorder, whatever you like to call it, when the food is taking over your mind too frequently. The first approach in this mini series was the cold turkey approach, which I explained how I did it with the ketogenic diet. It does not have to be a ketogenic diet. It was just my experience. So approach number 2, that is the one I'm doing right now currently, and I did last year and the year before, but I did not. This is for me the most sustainable. Now this is called the flexible dieting. Someone like to say, eat what you want, whatever you want, as long as you hit your caloric goal and you hit your macros, you have enough, so this is as in the previous video with the cold turkey, I said that you don't necessarily have to be in a caloric deficit, at least in the beginning, through the adaptation phase, because you just want to fix your relationship with food. Now in this approach, the flexible diet is different, because here you not going to get rid of your triggers, the junk foods. Here you are allowed to have the so-called junk foods, but of course in a limited amount. You want to stay in a caloric deficit, so you go. There are so many calculators for free on Google. They are quite good, I can tell you that. You type in your body weight, your height, your age, your fitness activity level, and they're gonna give you a number of caloric maintenance. If you want to gain weight or muscle, how much you should add to that maintenance number, or if you want to be in a caloric deficit and lose weight, slowly, or with the moderate fat loss or weight loss, you're gonna just select the one that is about 500 calories below the maintenance level. This is very important, and trust me when I say this, I have a lot of experience. Now, the numbers don't lie. Calorie in and calorie out, it's simple as that. Whether it's ketogenic diet or not, there is a number. If you eat more than that, you're gonna gain weight. If you eat under that number, you're gonna lose weight. So here, my personal experience, and trust me guys, from 90 kilo I went down to 78 kilogram. That's 12 kilogram drop, with cheat days once a week. Cheat days meant that I overeat my caloric maintenance by 1000 calorie. Here you're gonna need a scale. You should have a scale anyway for your body weight, and you also need a kitchen scale, which you should also always have, because you're gonna, especially in the beginning, if you have never done this before, it's a little bit of work to. You go to the butcher, you buy the chicken breast, and you go home and you measure the weight before you cooking it, and then if you don't know, you Google it, or you use an app to tell you how much calorie you intake. So in my case, again, my example I'm going to share with you, the maintenance calorie was around 2700 calorie according to the calculator, and I decided I'm going to have a 2200 calorie diet. 2300, from 90 kilo to 85, and from 85 kilo I reduced it to 2200. And right now I'm doing the same. And so around 20% of my daily calorie intake came from sources like whatever I wanted to eat. I don't lie to you, I ate ice cream every single day. So when we say 20%, that means in my case is 400 and roughly 440 calories where I can add an ice cream, a cornetto, which is 200 calories, and I have another 240 calories left, and I can have, you know, a donut or another ice cream or whatever you want, you know, in that. But just making sure that the rest of the you know, the 80% is where it depends on your goal, you know. If, to me, muscle maintenance, it's not to lose muscle. In order to not to lose muscle, I consume a high amount of protein. I make sure that I consume enough healthy fats, and here I have mostly complex carbohydrates. But that's the thing, like, it does work, you know. I do this year, I started 3 months ago. Last year I did it for 6 months. I could have continued this. I should not have stopped. The reason for that I did stop is because I had to move to another country to work for a few months, and there I had no chance of you know, measuring my, I did as the best as I could measuring my foods, but anyway, you know, the environment was not suitable for tracking my calories and cooking and stuff like that. But that's just an excuse. If I really wanted to, I could have done it more properly. But the thing about this diet is, though, does it fix your relationship with food if you are a binge eater? And the thing is, when you are in, yes, it does help, not as much as like the first method, the cold turkey, yeah, but when you reduce your calories constantly in a daily basis, obviously it's going to be less stimulation of dopamine and serotonin in your brain, you know. So you're gonna be feeling less happy, less satisfied, and that's the key of it's kind of like a dopamine detox. It's the reduction of those good things. Not like the cold turkey. Here you reduce it, and then you will see. You have to be patient. It's not easy. You hear me saying, okay, you can have an ice cream or a donut, but guys like us, myself included, when I was really heavy on junk food, one donut wouldn't do it, you know, one ice cream wouldn't do it, you know, it wasn't enough. I went up to 3,000, 4,000 calories a day, and half of that was junk food, if not more. So again, if this is the approach, give it a try. Make sure that you track your calories properly, and you be careful with added sauces, you know, added oil when you are cooking. You also have to calculate those, because that's what people make mistake with those, like, oh, you know, I ate chicken, 400 grams of chicken breast, 660 calories, and then write it down, but they do not add the soy sauce they added, the oil they cook with, you know, it's an extra 100 calories at least. So you make sure you do that properly, and it will work. And you don't have to let go all the food you like. I have achieved a really good physique doing this by eating ice cream every single day. But your goal should not be that, you know, like, because, oh, I can have my ice cream. Because the downside of this is that then sometimes, you know, you're just gonna think about that. Oh, in the evening I can have one single ice cream, and then that's gonna be in your mind. That's why I say consistency is the key. You reduce your calorie intake, you are in a deficit, you are kind of resetting your dopamine baseline, but it's a much more slow, less effective process than the cold turkey. Cold turkey is more painful, obviously, but it fixes you quicker. Mentally, I feel good now. But I also do other things than you know, reduction in your calorie intake, but also which is going to be my next video, the last one, reduction in other dopamine inducing activities. So see you guys in the last video, which is going to be my third last method of how to quit binge eating, junk food addiction. how to beat junk food addiction. See you soon.